This team is talk about to Area 51. Okay, I think all know the Area 51, but I think not all know the start or the foundation for the Area 51. Okay, the Area 51 began in the 2050s during the Cold War, when the United States needed a secret place to test new space aircraft. The CIA chose an isolated spot in the Nevada desert near the dry Green Lake because it was remote and almost impossible for anyone to see what was happening. The base was officially established, and the first major project was the U-2 spy plane, designed to fly very high and gather information for other countries for then on. Area 51 became a key site for testing advanced technologies like the SR-71 and the F-117, always under strict secrecy. The secrecy was made the base famous since the government gave no explanations. Rumors began to spread about UFOs, extraterrestrials, and high-end projects. Over time, Area 51 began just a military base and became a symbol of history, conspiracy, and theories that continue today.
The construction of the Area 55 was primarily beyond the United States government during the Cold War to serve as secondary military base dedicated to testing aircraft and advanced technology, and not for reasons related to extraterrestrials or aliens. These are the bombs based on government source and declassified documents. The official purpose of the construction in 1955, the Central Intelligence Agency and CIA chose a remote location in the Nevada desert near Grand Lake to build a highly secretary testing facility under the name Project Aquatone. To gather intelligence by flying altitude over enemy territory undetected. The location was chosen because it's in isolation of the locked bed offered in the testing site with the interference on difficult access civilians and enemies. The Secretary Advanced Technology Department, in addition to the U-2, is project. Other secret aircraft were the Tates or Area 51, such as the A-12 Oscar Relance plane of the F-155. In Nighthawk States Fighter, the base was essential the keeping this technology innovation under wraps during the Cold War, when the USA and the Soviet Union competed for military and strategic intelligence advance.
And now I'm going to talk about the disclosure and declassified information from Area 51. For decades, Area 51 was considered one of the most secretive locations in the United States. The government avoided acknowledging its existence, which only increased public curiosity and fueled countless theories. This began to change in 2013, when the CIA officially declassified and released documents confirming that Area 51 was real. According to these documents, the base was originally established during the Cold War as a testing site for highly advanced and experimental aircraft, such as the U-2 spy plane and the SR-71 Blackbird, and later stealth technology were developed and tested there. Because these aircraft flew at extreme altitudes and speed unknown at the time, many people mistook them for unidentified flying objects, which helped Area 51 gain its mysterious reputation. The declassified files also revealed that the layout of the zone, including Groom Lake and the surrounding restrict zones, photos, maps, and the detailed reports show how the facility expanding over the time, support to do more complex projects. This document helped the public understand why the government needs such secrecy protecting market innovation during a time of global tension. However, one important thing the document did not mention was extraterrestrial life or alien technology. Despite this, many people still believe that the government is hiding deeper secrets, partly because large sections of Area 51 activities remains classified even today. The missing information leaves space for speculations, conspiracy theories, and imaginative explanations. The disclosure of these documents was a major moment in modern history because it brought transparency to a subject surrounded by mystery for over half a century. Yet, even with what we know, Area 51 continues to be a symbol of secrecy, advanced technology, and unanswered questions. Its story reminds us that sometimes the unknown captures our imagination even more than the truth.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'm going to talk about testimonies and stories of people who work in Area 51. Area 51 in English. The first people who I want to start to speak is Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar, he is an experimental and theoretic physicist who in the 80s was contacted by the Air Force of United States, and he worked about 1 year in experimental zone near to Nevada, but he was this 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 missile. I don't know what's the correct form to say despedido. Maybe I believe that is dismissed. Okay, Bob Lazar was dismissed because he spoke publicly about the projects and research that were being carried on the Sector 4. Okay, before they continue, Sector 4 or Sector 4 is the place that who that he worked in specifically in the Area 51. Okay, in the Sector 4, Sector 4 happens many investigations, many projects, and the government thought that if he spoke publicly is not correctly and was not very good for the projects, because the projects and experiments in the area was secret or restricted to the general public. One of the things he worked on was the study of engine propulsion and applying reverse engineering, which means they were looking to find the way or the reason or the form to work the machines who study. Although various media outlets claim that he was actually studying Russia aircraft, and he was actually a Russian aircraft, but he dismissed after he know this information, and he retained with the idea of having studied spacecraft, and Bob Lazar said in several interviews that he recounted that in the study building there were at least 9 or 10 aircrafts with different types of shapes. For example, he mentioned one of these shapes like a hat or a sphere or the typical circular ovni, and also he names or he put a, I don't know how do you say apodos in English, but he put names difference because he, I don't know how can explain, but I remember one of these aircrafts is like a supercar or ultimate model of car. So he puts name El Deportivo or the sports car, and what more? Maybe I think it's the most important that Bob Lazar mentioned in the interviews. Also, he wrote a book, and he stayed in a conference, in a conventions around the world. I don't know if is dead or is on live, but Bob Lazar is one person who worked in the Area 51 and spoke the functions or the actions in here, and that's all.
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. I'm Valeria Bautista and I'm going to talk about the theories around the Area 51. The Area 51 is an interesting place to talk about because it have a lot of theories of what happened inside of there, but I think it maybe can't be true, a lot of them, because yes, I think they are tasting like aircrafts or something like that, but if they have like alien technology or something like that, is it needs to be like a secret, more confidentially, but I think all the people around the world knows about the Area 51. All the theories about the Area 51 start after the incident in Roswell in 1947, when supposed remains of an spacecraft and even some extraterrestrial bodies were taken to the Area 51, Area 51, and they has been spending time, a lot of years, in reverse engineering to this technology. I think maybe it can be true, like a 50-50, because I think if they were a spacecraft and they are learning how that works, it could change the world, because they can study the system, the propulsion systems, and maybe if they were bodies, alien bodies, they can study the anatomy, or maybe how they communicate with others, how a lot of things. Really, I think is they can study a lot of things and know how they work. Another theory of what happened inside of there is the facility for experimental recognized aircraft, and I think maybe it can be true, but how I just have mentioned it, a lot of people knows about the Area 51, and if other governments, like other countries, knows about what happened inside of there, and if this is true, I think the other governments can think is so dangerous, because maybe it can be a powerful technology, and yes, it can be dangerous for all of us. Inside of the Area 51, they also do like projects or tests, like the Avila project, and I think maybe it can be so cruel, because you hurt to other people, and I try to think maybe they do it to walk to the future, because to learn something you need to do a lot of proofs, like tests, or you need to use extreme ideas to know the conduct to the people or something like that. But I think it's cruel, so cruel, and like rude, but I don't know what happened inside of there. I think the Area 51 is an interesting place to talk about, but I don't have enough time, so this was all for my part. So thank you for watching.
Okay, everyone. Good morning. Well, I want to talk about the another size, the Area 51 is about aeronautical technology. Why? Because for the Americans it was very important in this season in 1950s and 60s, because there was a Cold War. The name is Cold War with the URSS. Nowadays is Russia. So in this part of this season, the Americans tried to create airplanes to spy, to verify, to investigate. I don't know about the Russian specify. So in this about these meanings, try to create 3 airplanes. One of them was the U-2 airplane, or another worse, it was Lady Black. So why? Because this airplane was specified to spy these areas of the United the Russia. It was it planes. It was very important because airplane one of the characteristic it could be to fly about the 21 meters under the sea. So for the Russian was impossible to identify. So well, this airplane was very important for the aeronautical in this season for the United States. Well, thanks for this great United States was a lot of information and to continue to this war. Okay, the another airplane to spy or about the technology, high technology. The name was the Blackbird. Blackbird. Another name is SR-71. What's the most important about this airplane? This airplane was very quickly, faster. This airplane fly to about to 3,050 meters per hour. It's like a Mach 3. Mach 3 is a part or is identify the name or the highest flying about the airplanes very quickly. So the high technology nowadays United States continue using this part. So impulse another technologies for the United States and practice in this area to create another airplanes very secret for this part. The United States contain this area ultra secret. It's impossible to enter this part. I want to talk about the third airplane. The third airplane, the name was the Howard. Howard is this plane. This airplane. The most important about this is recognized by the name of Steel. Steel. If you remember, in 20 years ago, make pictures about the EI, about technology, about the technology intelligence and technology. Sorry. So in this case, in this part, talk about the airplanes with IE. Try to tripulate alone. It's not necessary to be manipulated for people, for person. Is automatically is only the machine works with airplane. That's all. So in this area start to promote this technology. For me, I think it's very dangerous because about the intelligence, artificial intelligence is the most important nowadays. And try to consider be careful about that technology because I think if it continues about the increase or grow up about that technology. Try to separate all the people, persons or humans being to work about this because all the machines try to work only this is only for them. So I think in this area, the purpose about this is continue to create high technology about the aeronautical to be the number one around the world. So I think it's very special to do this. I think this area who test in 1950s to continue to grow up to this technology, and for this reason it's very impossible to visit to show about the technology who works in this place. I don't know. I think it's very important about this. So it's very important about to know about this technology, but it was impossible. Was the real situation, the real I don't know technology who works in this plant. So teams, I think is for me the very important about the technology in this part. That's all. Thank you for your times and your listen. See you.